live fantasy draft of fantasy football 2014, the year of our Lord and Savior Tommy Bizbiz. Hey guys, we got
Hello.
Ed, Jim, and Paul in the in their respective cages, ready to duke it out for all the fantasy glory that they can carry this year. So the draft is actually just about to start. Who's going
20
first?
seconds. You have 20 seconds.
20 seconds, and the first pick is Gutterballs, who is on
Gutterballs.
That would be Jesse, who is not able to attend today.
Jesse is in absentia, so he might be auto-drafting.
10
I'm
seconds.
going to say he's going to draft LaShawn McCoy. That's my
almost
prediction.
undoubtedly, yeah. An interesting choice.
I've
Okay.
had him the last 2 seasons. I have to say, I but not a bad pick. Not a bad pick.
Oh, it's starting.
Oh boy.
Oh, man.
So of our people in attendance, who's going to be the first to draft?
It will be me, I believe.
Yes.
Okay.
Paul's draft number 2.
And Paul, you're new
I'm
to
gonna take
the
a kicker.
NFL.
Take a kicker.
No, Paul's played a
choice.
couple years.
Yeah,
Okay.
I looked. I think my first year was 2010 in this league.
He's
Okay.
been there in
Did
the
you play-
background.
Did you play last year, Paul?
I did. I got last place. So
Okay, you were probably like just below me then. Which
yeah,
is
there were.
probably why
I
I'm
lost
not
a
playing
bunch
this
of.
year.
I lost a bunch of ties in weird ways, and yeah, I remember that.
There.
That path through the consolation bracket was pretty rough.
Hey, who is Band Nerd?
Band Nerd is a guy named Brian, who I know. He's a husband of a graduate student I used to go to school with. Big,
And he's
big football
too
fan.
important to be here on this Google Hangout with us today, or?
Yeah, I guess so.
And was Van Hitten? That's Dean, right?
Van Hitten is Dean. Gutterballs is Jesse. Bare Knuckles Jim. Who else is on the list here? If someone's drafting.
Yeah,
Oh, boy.
sorry, Ash butchering on my speakers or put in my headphones or something.
Oh, by the way, I was going to say at the beginning, if somebody wanted to, could we share our screen with Ben? Would that solve the problem with him not being able to?
Then we could see who's in the queue.
Yeah, you don't want to see other people's draft.
Oh, that's a
rolls.
good point. That's a good point.
That's not fair. There goes Jimmy Graham right off the board.
Sorry, guys. I don't get to pick for another like 18 minutes, so.
Yeah, I know that being on
Well,
the.
that goes right over what Yahoo told me to do, because they told me to take Jimmy Graham, but you know, I'm not going to fall that far in our draft. So, thanks, Yahoo. I have to say I do appreciate the. Wait, who just drafted? Who just drafted DeMarco Murray?
Good question.
Outwitting the foes?
Ha!
Who's outwinning the foes?
Friendly, and she's a huge Cowboys fan, and I said that she would for sure draft.
Nice.
That she was for sure going to draft DeMarco Murray. So.
Called it.
Okay, I'm back.
I was going to draft Le'Veon Bell, but I don't know. He did just get caught with the old ganja. So
Yeah.
Which
Yeah,
is
I
worse than beating your spouse.
according to league substance abuse
Didn't
rules,
he get caught
it's
with like
true.
20 grams of it? It was like a pretty significant amount.
But yeah, it was divided among the 3 people in the car, one of which was one of his other teammates.
Right. 2 of which were professional football players, so.
Ooh, looks like I'm drafting.
Uh-oh.
Ooh, he's got 2 in a row.
No.
With the most controversial choice of the hour.
And then you won't be picking again for a long time.
Yep.
I always end up stuck one away from the corner like that. The same I am right now, where I don't get to pick 2 in a row. I have to wait for someone else to take 2 in a row so I can take.
It's the worst spot.
Yeah, I really don't like that spot. I think last year in one of my leagues I had the second to last spot, which is, I don't know, hard to say it's worse.
Would one of you feel comfortable sharing your screen for a little bit? That way it'll actually sort of record for a little bit in the Hangout?
Almost.
Just to kind of see the layout?
After this next pick, yeah. After this next round or so.
Okay, I'm just putting it out there. I don't have a screen. I wish I could show it to just sort of show the lineup and sort of how things are going, but
Our diehard
Oh,
fans
well.
will appreciate the
Who's
mystery.
Gallows
Okay.
Pole?
Gallows Pole is my friend Mark. You know Mark.
Oh, okay.
Mark
He
Zorzi.
changed his team name.
His team name is always a Led Zeppelin or Pixies reference, I
Oh,
believe.
nice. All right. All
I
right.
haven't taken the time to look up what Gallows Pool is.
Is he? He's drafting live right now.
I don't know if he's in there. He should be. If his name, it shows you who's in there.
I'm not seeing that part of.
There is also chat in the Yahoo Hangout too, or Yahoo Hangout. Jeez,
Yeah.
whatever.
Wow,
The
that
fantasy
is
draft.
loud.
Yep.
These headphones are nothing.
Mm-hmm.
I could hear it in my speakers, headphones, whatever. The tiny speakers I wear in my head. Yeah.
It's if you look at the left
So,
side, if it doesn't have a little like rotated thing next to them, it means that they're.
Oh, okay. That's what I knew. There was some way to tell it, and I could not. Yeah. So Mark is here.
Whether they're live or not.
Yeah. So if there's a rotated, that means they're auto drafting. If there's a picture, then it means that they're actually here.
Yeah.
There goes
So-
the great quarterback run of our draft is starting
Yeah,
now.
Seriously.
Sorry, guys,
boy.
I initiated that.
Oh,
All right, I'll
that's
share
okay.
my screen now.
Quarterbacks are deep this year.
Didn't want you all to see
Yeah, quarterbacks are pretty deep.
unending love of Aaron Rodgers just yet.
Aaron
That's right.
Rodgers was a big factor in performance last year, wasn't he?
He is. He
He's
paid
my
some
only guy.
dividends.
Well, it's changed, I think, a little bit in the last few years, where it's actually become the case that I think quarterbacks. It used to be just running back, but they started switching to these running back by committee type of situations, and so you don't you can't dominate by just having a really good running back anymore. So like quarterbacks now by proxy or as a result of that are not are doing better, I suppose. So anyway, this piece of analysis brought to you by Ed.
My
That's
screen's
good analysis. I like it.
If you don't
I
care
see
to
it.
take
You got 30 seconds,
Is that
Paul.
the breakdown?
Yeah, I'm looking. I'm trying to. Don't like where I am at this
I like
point.
this.
It's tough, man. It's tough.
It looks like they changed the layout a little bit on,
Yeah, this is a new-
on the draft page.
New style for sure. Makes it easier for those live full volume videos they want to insert every now and then.
Oh, I see.
Alshon Jeffrey,
No!
Jordy Nelson.
Oh, this is heartbreaking.
You can't get attached to those hometown players. Just
Nope.
you can't. There goes our hometown player.
Anybody want
I'm
to trade for him?
surprised
You
you
let me know. Let me know.
Mm-hmm.
I hit him
didn't
last
expect
year in one of my
that,
leagues. He was not bad.
Boy, that's a reach right there. Antonio Brown.
What is going on with this draft?
Why do you say that, Jim?
It's not going as he predicted.
No, I did not expect like 5 quarterbacks to fall immediately.
Well, when I don't get a pick for another 20 rounds, I figure I should take one, right?
I'm not complaining, man. I took one as well. I just
There goes
surprised I got
D-Mart.
to take Martin. Yeah.
Yep. Prediction here. CJ Spiller.
The drum roll.
Who's
Ooh.
Guys are going. Who's I don't even know. Where's Patterson in the?
Cordarrelle Patterson.
Yeah, from Minnesota, but I don't know. I have a different. I guess I ranked my players differently, so I don't know what the Yahoo rankings are. I'm looking at my rankings.
You can, on the left-hand side of the page, if you look at my screen, you'll see the Yahoo rank on the left and then
Oh.
my personal rank on the right.
Well done.
And I think
Well done,
yours
sir.
should probably be set up the same way.
Well,
well, or similar. It's also handy to know, Jim, that at least you're only giving away your rankings for 2 other competitors.
Well, I also
That's true.
took
And
down.
I'm not looking at it, so I'm looking at my own.
Honor among thieves, I see.
I'm trying to look at Paul's, but it's not working.
I have remote viewing software installed in all of them.
oh, that's me.
Ooh.
Mhm.
Have any of you guys changed your team names this year?
Not yet, but maybe.
Okay.
It's an outside chance. Although I've been using the same one in this league for several years. So.
Okay. I love changing my name. I'm terrible like that. I'm better at name picking than player picking.
Uh-huh, uh-huh, uh-huh. I think mine's the same. I've been Eds and Forces most every year.
Yeah.
Since the beginning.
Thousands of years ago before.
Sigourney Weaver, yeah.
Okay.
Interesting.
Wow, look at him taking his time here.
Yeah.
He takes the guy I was looking at. I see. You're not looking at my screen here, are you, Ed?
Somebody just took the guy I was looking at, so. Oh, and it was Ed, so yeah.
Hold on. Let me scroll down here. I think Andy Dalton would be a great next pick.
Yeah.
Wait.
Allow me to select number 800 on the list.
Sorry, man.
I think it's about time to start getting some kickers. Let me tell you.
Yep. Drafting a lot of water boys this year.
Well, like as far as I'm concerned, the best quarterback left is Andrew Luck, and then from then on, there's like 4 or 5 quarterbacks that are all about equivalent in my eyes. So I'm not like crazy about quarterback at this point.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Plus, I drafted a guy named Monty, so I win automatically.
That's how it
You've been
works.
watching the Simpsons marathon. Speaking
I
of
have. I watched a lot of Simpsons the last
I
couple
think they
days.
just hit the peak. They're down
Yep.
on the downhill.
Yeah.
Now on the down.
Yeah, I saw someone point out that they're still. I think they have yet to come up on Homer Simpson versus the City of New York, and that is like for me like the last good Simpsons
I
episode.
think that's past it for me, but I could see. Yeah.
I was reading something the
yeah,
other day that they suggested that the Homer's Enemy one with Frank
Frank Grimes.
Frank Grimes.
That's like the absolute last drop off, I think.
Mm.
You only move twice with Hank Scorpio. I think
Oh,
that's
okay.
where I think that's the peak, and then it falls, and then there's a few other peaks after that. But
There's a couple of just good episodes in the
Yeah.
season, but then
Grimes is not too far after that.
No, well, it's actually like Grimes. Let's see. So that episode was on. We can do it chronologically,
Hank Scorpio was just on maybe 2 hours ago.
right? And
oh nice.
and I looked at the Frank Grimes episode. That'll be on at like 3:30 Eastern time
Yeah.
tonight, 3:30 in the morning.
So I think it is a season later, actually. Now that you're,
Yep,
Yep.
it is. Yeah, it's in season 7.
and
right
I want to
about now, I
say
think.
there's like 2 or 3 other ones between those, but I don't think that they are. Yeah, I don't know that they're in the same place.
I watched quite a few today. I watched Treehouse of Horror 7, which I think is my favorite one.
Is that the Bart's twin?
Yeah, he is the twin, and then there's Al Gore and Bill Clinton are replaced by
that is the one
Kang,
I-
and
that's
yeah.
right.
All right. Always twirling.
Abortions
better
for
way to-
some, miniature American flags for others. Yeah. There goes Reggie Bush.
Yep.
Right out of there. Right out.
Now I'm looking up Simpsons episodes instead of looking at
Drafting the Simpsons.
Man.
Go
I
back to
take
this
Disco
for-
Stew. I really kind of wonder. I
Stew was
think
late
FXX
too, that
should. First, I think FXX should have. I'm sure they're tracking, of course, Twitter sentiment as the Simpsons episodes go on and stuff.
Mhm.
I would love to watch just the sentiment graph go from positive to negative in the next like
Yeah.
12 hours. Because eventually, and also just compared to the total volume of tweets and everything else, like it's gonna fall off precipitously, like around season 13, and people are like, oh my god.
Oh, so actually, Ed, so You Only Move Twice is the second episode after that Treehouse of Horror you mentioned in season 8. So they
Okay.
started out strong, and Frank Grimes, Homer's Enemy, is still in season 8. It's the third to last before the Simpsons spin-off Showcase, which was pretty horrible,
Mm-hmm.
That show is hard to watch.
and The Secret War of Lisa Simpson. Oh, and then season 9 starts with your City of New York versus Homer Simpson.
Yep. I like that one
I think season 8's where it all kind of fell apart.
for sure.
Let's see here.
For
Did someone
sure.
draft Ryan Matthews at some point here? Or no? Does anybody know?
Say that one more time.
Ryan Matthews?
Ryan Matthews?
Yeah.
Can't you just look him up and see if it's taken?
I don't know. Probably.
Yeah, you can do that. Search for a player.
I guess you can do that. You lazy.
Is he not? He doesn't come up. Interesting. Does he not play in the NFL anymore? Spelling his name wrong. Oh, it's Matt. It's spelled differently. That's why. He looks like he already has been drafted by somebody. Okay. Just trying to keep up with all the rest of y'all fools.
That's all right.
So it looks like Pierre Garçon is gone.
It's a great name, Pierre Garçon.
That is
That's
a good
true.
name.
It is true.
All right, there's my 2 picks. I could go back to Simpsons episodes.
Who are your?
Oh yeah, the ones right after you only moved twice were the boxing episode with Homer.
Oh yeah, where he finds out that he just has the
yeah,
ability to withstand just like
You have a rare disease.
which is a horrible episode,
Isn't that like he has a
Homer
rare
Simpson
condition
disorder.
called Homer Simpson's disorder? Yeah.
which is really a
What are
big
the odds?
contrast. And then the next one is where Rodney Dangerfield is Moneyburns' son,
Right.
which is also a pretty weak episode.
Yep.
It's
It's kind of bad. Having like a key character be a guest voice seems to be really troublesome after like season 3. They suck.
Well, and especially
Like you have like
in
awesome like Dustin Hoffman and like Michael Jackson in early ones, and then after that you're like,
Peter Frampton, Billy Corgan.
Yeah.
I watched that episode of
Oh.
Homerpalooza earlier.
yeah.
Well, so after
That one doesn't hold up. I thought it was hilarious when I first saw it.
Yeah.
there's a certain point too where like
Bungee jump for racism. Yeah.
that episode,
And racism.
it's not even Rodney Dangerfield playing a character. It's just Rodney Dangerfield. Right? Like,
Right, yeah, he's just yeah.
Ugh.
Not even well, he never really played a character. He played himself as the character, whatever.
True. But I mean, he's not
He had
even
his stage
he's not
persona.
voice acting, right? He's not voice acting. He's just talking.
Rodney Dangerfielding, I guess, yeah. Although, you know, the Treehouse of Horror episodes stay pretty funny throughout
Yeah. That's
much of the run.
They're almost just like a different team is writing them. You know.
They actually kind of are, I think.
Actually, I'm looking at the Wikipedia page, and you're right. They are. It's
Oh,
it is entirely that.
yep. It's a different crew, and they made a point of making them special.
Oh, and actually, it looks like some of the like early writers, and some of the writers that like don't write that often write for them. Like,
Mhm.
yeah, that's interesting.
It's rather telling, I think.
Yeah.
But also, I forget what the split is when Matt Groening started to focus on doing Futurama, because he kind of drained some of the talent from The Simpsons to do Futurama episodes, which is part of the.
Which it would have been starting right around season 9, probably the early stuff, because that was 98.
Maybe as far as development, I think.
Yeah, like
Futurama,
pitching the pilot and stuff.
right? Because Futurama comes out in like '99, right? That's kind of the whole point of the joke.
Yep.
I see that Outwitting the Foes has chosen Jason Witten, so that's that's right on the nose.
Obligatory.
Yeah.
Also, I mean, a lot of people at this. I don't know how many rounds we've gone through, but there were so many rounds for someone to steal his thunder on that. But
It would be a costly.
yeah, I know. It's just like a costly screw you to go ahead.
I tried to choose every player named Ed, but I could not.
Yeah. I was trying to choose every player named Jackson, which actually you couldn't field most of a team named Jackson.
Have, like, we could play fantasy modern art. And get
Steven Jackson,
Pollock in there.
Vincent Jackson, Deshaun Jackson.
Or just have 5 of them.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
You always
That'd
have
be
to start
amazing.
5 at any given time.
No, I don't know if you have to start them. You just have to have them in your lineup. But you have to keep them in your lineup the entire time. So basically, you have a whole bunch of bench, like dead weight. You have like no alternatives. You're like, oh, he's hurt, but who's this guy? Also, that comment should underscore just how bad I am at fantasy football.
Did you guys notice the app this year? Like the both iOS and Android app for Yahoo?
Ugh.
Oh, is it actually my turn now? Awesome.
Yes.
They've
2 in a
had
row.
They've had apps for years, and they're always the worst thing I've ever
They're
used.
always the worst, but this year you can finally use them to draft. Which is normally the reason you download them.
Are you drafting on it right now?
No. But I noticed that it was a new feature.
You should never trust Yahoo to do anything tech related. All right, nothing tech related.
I disagree. There's one thing Yahoo has done particularly well. Actually, two things. One, they run Flickr very, very well.
Oh,
no. They run Flickr.
We'll come back.
They run what to Flickr?
Yeah. What's the second one?
And the other one is their Yahoo Weather app is actually pretty good.
Whoa! There's one other huge thing they do really well. Are you kidding?
Is it Pay Bill Maher?
They've got like 20% of that company.
Oh, well, that's business stuff.
Wait, what did you say?
They invested in like I think 20% of
Alibaba. They're a supplier, basically.
There's a lot of investors that would say that's probably the best thing they've done in the last 20 years.
The best thing they should do is like fire all their people who work with computers.
Wow.
No, I mean I am a Flickr user. I've been a Flickr user for like a decade, and it looks exactly the same as it did a decade ago.
Yes.
Like it's close. It's close. I actually really like using Flickr for my,
I like the
my photo showing and stuff like that. Showing. God, I'm an idiot.
I do too, but it's a ghost town too because there's no one left there.
Well, it's a good place. Yeah, it's a good place sort of for your hosting, and then you kind of post out from it and stuff.
Yeah, that's kind of what it feels like. It feels like.
I mean, and they give you a terabyte of backup space, so or storage. There's no reason not to use it for that alone.
Yeah, but I mean, it kind of has the same feel as Google Drive if I just install my pictures there, frankly.
Oh, you have that much space on your Google Drive?
No, but
what do you pay for it?
Can't you get a terabyte on Google Drive for like $10 a month?
Yeah, and I get a terabyte from Flickr for nothing.
I'm aware, but I'm saying it has that same feel, right? It's doing the same thing. It's just a...
Kind of. I don't know. I do use the groups a little bit more and stuff like that, and I like sharing... honestly, Google Plus has done some neat sort of like magic between that and the storage of like featuring and posting them in sequence and creating these stories and all that stuff, but I don't know. I like the workflow of Flickr, so...
Yeah, I mean, I still use it, right? And I have for a long time, but it just feels like they didn't try to keep up with the times at all.
Oh yeah, well they dragged their feet for a very long time with it, and they let Instagram get in. They let
I mean they
so many other things take over.
They didn't have an app. They didn't. I still don't know if they have an app of their own that is worth anything. But for years,
I think the Flickr app is pretty good now. They did a pretty big redesign just about a year ago that I think made it more usable. They still were playing catch up with Twitter and Instagram and all the rest, but
the original was bad.
It was quite bad, quite slow.
And that year ago redesign might have been the first redesign that was worthwhile. But for a long time, you had to rely on third-party apps.
Right.
It was a huge reach.
Who's a reach?
Sorry, Marcus Wheaton.
Thanks for bringing it back on topic, Ed.
Yeah.
Well, someone just drafted. He's ranked 115th,
and that was his pick. Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody's got a hot tip.
Yeah, that's about like 60 points away from 60. You could draft that guy 2 rounds from now probably, and
somebody's invested in Yahoo stock. That's it. Maybe Marcus.
Hey, actually, that would pay off right now. They're actually doing not so bad.
That's true. That's true.
I actually happily raise my hand as an investor. They are. I invested a couple of months ago after I found out.
Jim, please recuse yourself from making further comments because you're not impartial.
Best company ever.
I appreciate your disclosure, but
trying
please.
to sway all our listeners to go out and buy their
Our
stock.
journalistic integrity is on the line here as we talk about the best Simpsons episode while Snickers gives us Yahoo Final Fantasy Draft. Grab a Snickers.
No, to be fair though, Yahoo, one of the only things Yahoo has going for them is their fantasy sports, right?
One of the only.
All right, Jimothy, where are you going here?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Only time I go to Yahoo is to do fantasy sports.
That's true for me too.
Oh,
Julian Edelman.
And frankly, they're not.
Is that your guy?
Can we admit they're not that great at it?
Trying to
It's
draft
just
people
that
with the name Ed.
no one else is better.
I hate a lot of their services, but I like the way that they're trying to handle their failed business.
We all love Yahoo, don't we?
No, I think they hit their bottom though when they had what, like 2 or 3 different CEOs in a like 2-year period.
Yeah,
Right.
Right at the bottom.
They had a huge downsizing. They had a huge talent drain. They've gone through most of the ringer besides like total failure or something like that.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty easy to see like how they do business. You know, like
Right.
ad revenue is a good portion of it, and then investments in other better tech
Right.
companies.
And they have done sort of a pivot to more content-oriented stuff compared to Google and whatever. So, you know, they're kind of in their own space, I guess.
It was nice to see. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
Also, if you're on Flickr, you can license your photos to Getty or something like that,
happened a few years ago.
and you can get like a 1/1000th of a penny every time someone.
Yeah, I mean, there's a deeper discussion to be had there about the kind of pimping out of the photography industry.
Indeed.
But I do.
What was that, Paul? You kind of chopped up.
You chopped up.
Oh, sorry.
Did I actually chop up, or did you just not want to hear it?
No, I.
I'll have none more of this. We'll blame technical issues.
I'm sorry, I can't hear more of your Yahoo bashing.
Yeah, right.
No, I actually I'd like to hear more about why you feel that photo pimping is happening right now.
No,
Me?
it was a big no.
Oh.
That's what I said. That I think that, I mean, there's pros and cons to both. It's a double-edged sword of lowering that bar to entry of high-profile stock photos, right? So if you're doing pretty good photography, it's easier for you to get in there, but it's also kind of cut down to that area where if you're taking decent stuff, you could pay like a lot. Getty can pay a lot for a really good shot, or they could pay, like you said, pennies for like a B+ shot, right?
We're talking about different markets, though.
Right.
Like, people who use Getty are people like me and other freelance writers who work for organizations that don't want to pay a lot for photography and otherwise would just use free, kind of like open source, whatever, like public domain stuff. And so now they're creating a new market where one didn't exist, whereas the higher quality photographers are working with people like Huffington Post and other like larger, better paying
Right.
content sources.
Or they're paid directly by a
A publishing company.
a newspaper or something, or publishing company. Yeah.
Oh, crap, it's back to my choice. Whoops.
Yeah.
Oh,
TikTok.
I'm having this discussion.
Distract him.
Yeah,
Distract him.
I think I said that's why I don't have strong feelings on it, but that's why it kind of feels like a double-edged sword. Crap, who am I picking?
Well, the other part of it that they did as far as the service is that you also basically give Yahoo a license, and you receive some compensation. I don't know how much, but it's probably pretty small, where basically they use a lot of sort of very generic pretty backgrounds and photo backgrounds for their sites and apps and stuff, and so the odds are if you enroll in this program that your images will be used as like the background temporarily for this, that, or the other thing, so you kind of license it to be used through Yahoo's properties sort of wherever, which again, you give up a certain amount of control over specifically where it can wind up, but the idea being that these are sort of nice generic, landscapes or skyscapes or cityscape type shots, or the sort of things that you see like on the front page of Bing. So they basically are sort of trying to use their users, and they get paid, so that's not too terrible. It's a little silly, but
Yeah,
if you want to get your nice picture of like the clouds out there, that's one way to do it.
Well, and I think there's a deeper issue there about that maybe I'm tying it to that there's that industry, that old industry that maybe is a dinosaur at this point of stock photos that is kind of, it's hard to cope with the fact that there's more pictures being taken now than ever before, right? So there's repercussions to that. And one of them would be the death of that old industry. So there's something tied to that, certainly. It's not all Yahoo's fault.
Right. Well, I think part of the other idea was that, especially with the way that Flickr handles a ton of metadata on their pictures and stuff, like you can then, like for example, when your Yahoo Weather app opens and you're in Gray's Lake, you're going to get a picture from somewhere in Gray's Lake, like I would. versus, the WeatherBug or weather.com app who's going to have just sort of generic like, oh, well, you live in the Midwest. Here's a picture of a barn.
And
That sort of thing.
Like, as your background? That's
Yeah, like as the background, or like, oh, it's winter. Here's a generic picture of winter. Versus if Yahoo is plugged into Flickr, they can go to someone who has a geotagged photo of Grays Lake in winter. Boom, there it is. That's a picture of downtown. That kind of stuff.
huh. Well, so I went to the
you kind of have a
Yahoo
little bit
weather.
of power.
I went to the Yahoo weather, and as maybe you accidentally predicted, the background is a nice, calming, generic, not exceptionally well exposed, cloudy sky, like blue sky, clouds, generic background.
Mm-hmm.
That they probably just bought from someone for, Below that, in a smaller thing that says View Gallery, there's a much better exposed picture of clouds.
Finally.
Huh.
All right. Who's on first right now?
Durwood's
Here-
Destroyers.
here goes all the defenses.
Okay, so now we're into defensive
Damn it,
block.
guys.
Well,
Someone
about it?
drafted the Seattle Seahawks, which causes everybody to freak out and draft all of the defenses.
Yeah, I
Right.
thought about it since I was going to have this like 20-round wait again, or 20-pick wait. Thought about picking one up, and
How do you guys feel about your draft so far?
I'm not happy.
I'm pleased.
Very, very excited about my team. So far, I've hit most of the players I wanted. So
Ooh, the shopping list is almost complete then.
So if
Yeah.
we look at the projected stats right now, we can actually analyze the standings in this new
Oh.
thing. I'm not going to share my screen, otherwise you'd see my queue. But it looks like
Right.
Am I in last right now?
Van Nerd is projected for the most right now, followed
Okay.
by Ebron's Hands of Ice,
that's Jordan.
then
Where
Van
is Jordan?
then Durwood's Destroyers,
He's daughter.
then no, I'm sorry. Fighting Mongooses is number 2. Sorry
Woohoo!
about that. I
Whoa.
did not
Paul.
see.
That's unexpected.
But to be fair, Outwitting the Foes has not chosen a quarterback yet.
Yeah, I guess there is that.
Oh, but he has chosen a defense. This is hard to tell. I think this kind of means nothing until we get all our positions filled.
Yeah.
I'm pretty well convinced. I mean, based on my like 1 or 2 outings of fantasy football, that preseason predictions mean virtually nothing.
Especially not Yahoo's. I don't think Yahoo's
No, yeah,
has
sure.
a history of having the best models, despite the fact that they have
Yeah.
tons and tons of data at their fingertips. Yeah.
And
Strange.
fantasy football, sort of the metrics of it and the whatever that's a pretty well tread sort of, I don't know, whatever database or whatever data analysis. Like
Mhm.
It's true.
they know how to do these sort of predictions, I think, but they're still crap.
It's on Ed right now. We're waiting with bated breath to find out if he does indeed choose a defense with one of his 2 picks. I will guess that yes, he does. That is where my money is.
Yeah, it's
The question
a
is
lot of
who.
pressure to go all
what
the way
defense?
around the horn again.
He does Kelvin Johnson with his first choice, and now for his
Chris
Johnson. Chris Johnson.
Calvin
Oh, I'm sorry, Chris
Oh.
Johnson. Wow, that would have been
Kevin Johnson went a little while ago.
That would have been an amazing
Late
he lasted
pick.
until the 7th round.
Yeah.
Interesting. He does not choose
Oh man.
defense.
Here's the thing, and you guys can choose to take this or not with you, but every year I've played fantasy football, I've drafted some defense, and then there's been one team that everybody thought was going to be terrible. Let's say it was like, I don't know, the New York Jets, right?
Yeah.
And in like the first 3 weeks of the season, their defense just goes on a tear, and you pick them
Yeah,
up off of waivers, and you're all set. So,
There's a lot to be said about that strategy.
I mean, there's always regression toward the mean, right? So, yes, the Seattle Seahawks are projected to be amazing, but their defense, I mean, but they're not going to probably perform the same way they did last year. Just like some of those really crappy defenses are not going to perform so horribly this year. So I don't usually put much stock in defense, especially because you could draft I don't know, LaShawn McCoy, right? And he could go down with an injury in the first week. And
Yeah.
then all of a sudden your main running back is gone. And if you got
Yeah,
2 or
you're
3
scrambling.
guys, that might be able to put in there rather than reaching and grabbing a defense, because most defenses they put in points week to week. They're not as variable as a position as other Like look at how many defenses are going: Arizona, Carolina, Kansas City. Like, don't worry about it.
Damn it! Who took Kansas City?
I
See?
like it.
Don't worry about it.
I like Ed's take on this. That defenses may be overvalued in the draft.
Yeah, I completely
Not that they
think
can't
are.
produce, but I mean, there's probably like one or two standout defenses that you might want to grab in a draft, like you said, like the top one or two, like top picks, and then
I think the ones that you would have wanted to pick are the ones that just all got picked.
Yes.
Like,
right,
I-
that got gone. But then
I
if they
just
get
been
taken,
looking
you
for-
just regroup and look at something else.
Yeah, well, I was like considering defenses, and now I am not.
Get your second wide receiver out there.
Yeah, because the defenses now are pretty slim pickings.
There you go. And how many are gone? Like 4 or 5?
Like a bunch.
There's a
Yeah.
bunch of. There are a lot of them are gone.
Alright, let's
Surprising numbers.
Wow. I really wish I could pick a
draft.
defense on this one.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 have been drafted out of how many teams are there in the NFL?
30.
30. So
Yeah, but there's only like
There's-
7 that actually matter.
there's still 9 that are above average, right?
Oh,
Right
yeah,
there.
yeah.
Hmm.
I don't think any of them are worth it right now. Like,
Yeah, no, they're not. So
No.
just wait and get them later.
I think that's a pretty good strategy.
Yeah.
I like it.
No one would take a kicker right now.
Strategy,
But a kicker scores the most points on your team week to week on average. Like,
I have had a lot of. I wouldn't say that I would never pick a kicker right now, but
and remind us where you ended up last year.
but that's fair. I mean, you got
Just
to go
saying.
big or go home, Ed. You know.
That's true. Is everybody avoiding Ray Rice because he's out for like the first couple weeks? Because like, I don't know. I guess he had kind of a crappy year last year. Interesting.
Mm.
It's a deep draft for wide receivers. Still a couple good wide receivers out there.
Yeah, I noticed. It's really tempting to snatch one of those up.
Now they're playing preseason football right now, aren't they?
They are.
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay,
That
so
is
This is the
What's
last
that?
week before the regular season starts.
right, yeah, I kind of figured, yeah. I honestly, that's how out of this whole thing I am. But so, have you guys been watching any of those preseason games?
No, do people watch preseason games?
There is a preseason.
I've seen some.
They make a point of emphasizing the hell out of them on ESPN. I know that.
I was in.
Because
I
they're
was.
bored.
That's just
I
because they're
was,
so excited about getting the NFL back that they want to talk about.
Right, yeah, it's just like payday, yeah.
I was in a place where a game was on, and it was the Bears, which is my team, versus I want to say the Jaguars, and I had a chance to like watch it, and I chose not to. Like, so if I'm not even going to watch a Bears game in preseason, I don't know what it would take.
Mm.
Okay.
Hey, look,
Fair
there
enough.
goes the first kicker. Yay!
Well, there goes the second.
You know, I think he's injured, isn't he?
Why?
Is Prater injured? One of the kickers is injured this year. I
That would be.
Oh, wasn't. No, wasn't
all the kickers go. There they go.
Well, this is crazy.
Off to the races, man.
See, hope you like not having a kicker for a few games. I think Prater's out for like the first couple of games of the season.
Seriously, I just looked into that, and I did not see anything. That's great. All right.
I got burned by
Prater
that.
has been in the league's drug program since 2011. The report suggests he's had multiple strikes. Prater has a booming leg and is the conscientious top fantasy kicker. He'll miss the first 4 games of the season before returning in week 6.
Oh, that's great.
Wow. That's
Sorry,
a
man.
long.
There's another thing.
It's a
You could
lot.
drop all the way down to Phil Dawson before you're really like
That's true.
in trouble with kickers.
Awesome Phil from Dawsonville.
That's right. Well, Phil Dawson.
I think
First
that's
4
a
weeks.
NASCAR joke, folks.
Does
Right.
Dawson still kick for the what's their names? The oh god, Cleveland Browns. Does he still kick for them? Anybody?
Audience?
You really want a kicker whose team like can get kind of close to the red zone but not in it that often.
Right.
So he's a
The
good
non-completing types.
yeah. I think this is where the draft is going to hinge on a lot for me because I think at this point we're getting to where after I make a pick, we'll run out of talent, and it'll just be us picking, like hoping
Yes.
we pick a good one.
Random
So-
names.
Yeah. So my next two. I just want to say that right now I think we've drafted like I don't know how. I think we've drafted more tight ends than we could possibly need in this league.
That was my first. That was my first, and I think I'm hurting for just getting one.
There goes Denver.
No. It's okay. 2 more picks, and I've got mine chosen.
Any
Don't
idea
do
why
it.
there are so many tight ends drafted right now?
I think it's because of more than anything. This is feel free to chime in here, guys. But my take is that it's the most scarce position quality. Like
Right,
basically,
yeah.
you have 1 or 2 amazing players, and the rest are all just kind of okay. So people get scared once a couple of those go, and they start just snatching them all up. But you can only start 1 tight end on your team.
Right.
So
It's a kind of limited resource as far as
I've played some leagues where that have an offensive flex in addition to the wide running back,
mhm.
and that gets interesting because then you could either pick up a tight end or have a quarterback in there. Like it does usually become a second quarterback slot.
I wonder. I don't know. I don't know how many. I wish they would label if someone was a rookie or not, because I'd like to see how many rookies have been drafted so far. Because I
Look
think
at the
that
2013 stats.
That'd be great to have a rookie spot where you had to have a rookie in that spot.
that would be cool.
That would be very interesting.
Whether there's a way to do that or not.
Absolutely not with Yahoo.
set that. Yeah.
Yeah,
That'd be kind of cool. Though.
It'd be cool to attach like a flag like that to players that yeah, easy to
Home
do.
team.
That one's free, Yahoo. I'm sure you're listening.
No, we're using Google to project our
Oh, that's
Yahoo
true.
experience.
Oh,
Jim,
yeah.
you're
Does
you're
Yahoo have any similar service to allow people to talk to each other?
I probably not.
Jim, you're the odd man out in that you're in a team, or you're in a league of a lot of people from Michigan, and your home team when you draft home is Chicago. It's
That's what I consider it. I know
it's probably good because most of the Lions players are going to get more highly valued in this draft than in a typical draft. So, whereas Chicago would probably be, I guess, next highest on the list.
I just feel
Chicago's
bad
my
for
home
Cutler.
team. So. Yeah, who did get Cutler, by the way?
I saw him go early, but I don't,
did go.
I don't know
Yeah,
which
he
team
went.
it was.
You went too soon.
That's fair. I'll take that.
Devontae Freeman. So there's another. I have to find him in my rankings. Quiet cat. I'm
Boy.
drafting.
Roethlisberger's out there still.
Yeah,
yeah.
there's people who care. Yeah.
I would say that right now you still for quarterbacks you
You still have a decent chance against
Colin
him.
Kaepernick, Russell Wilson, and Ben Roethlisberger, who are all
Wow.
still
Wow.
quality quarterbacks. So there goes Ray Rice. I was like, how long is it going to take someone to draft that guy?
I was just adding him to my queue. I was like, all right, if no one else wants him, like he can
There you
happily
go.
sit on my bench until he's ready to play again.
There goes another kicker. Bulls.
As long as Matt Prater's ready for the finals. Or the consolation bracket. That's what I need.
Let's see, who do I got here? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I don't need any more running backs for sure.
I could use a few.
Who is Stampede?
My friend Chris.
Got it.
Hmm.
Welcome back, Stampede.
Wait, who was... Okay. I'm trying to figure out who all... It's Robert...
Speaking of Colin Kaepernick,
Mark...
thank you.
Jesse's got a pretty solid team shaping up here.
He should. He has the first draft. First draft
And
pick.
he's auto-picking, so he's not doing all these stupid things.
Ah, there it is. Durward's is... Wow. All right. I didn't realize you're sneaking by here with these awesome choices.
Who has
Julius
Durwood?
Thomas, Tom Brady, Kelvin Johnson.
Durwood?
Durwood's always very good in this league.
Yeah, very
That's
well,
my
very
friend
well
Derek.
done, sir.
Yep.
How many more rounds do we have? We're
I got
kinda
three.
coming up on it,
I
right?
got 3 spots left to draft.
I think I
will
have
have the very
4.
last draft. I get the Mr. Irrelevant draft pick of this draft.
Yeah, I have 4,
Nice.
but in about 6 or 7 picks, I get 2. Right.
Let's
so.
see. Who am I going to pick? I'll tell you right now who my last pick will be.
So I think there are 4 rounds left, and Ed has already had his pick in this round. Yeah.
I see.
Yeah. Who do I got left? Who's got the funniest name?
Right.
I don't know. I might pick someone who's like,
Roosevelt Nix.
Pick like the oldest player in the
NIS.
NFL.
yeah.
Shakondrick West.
Joe Webb is the guy you want.
Hey,
Alexander.
where is Hingle McCringleberry?
Adam Vinatieri. Adam Vinatieri is the oldest at 41, and he's already been drafted, I think.
He's a good kicker.
though, yeah.
He's a good kicker.
Wow, yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, that would also explain why he's so old. Because he does not get beat up a
Kickers
lot.
do age in double time.
So in my other league, the one that Ed
Mason
is,
Crosby still is Nash and Young.
that's drafting later tonight. Like last year, kickers were super overpowered, and
There it is.
Kickers like crazy.
Golden Tate.
I was waiting for that one, man.
He has the best name. I should have drafted him.
The Golden Tate Warrior?
The Golden Tate.
He
I
also
was looking at
plays-
him, but I already have a few Detroit players, unfortunately.
It's a fine choice.
That's the way it goes.
Don't like to tether players
how it
to
goes.
How it
teams.
goes. How it goes. I'm gonna give you some free advice. If you can get Sammy Watkins, get him.
He is.
He may be injured. I would check that first.
I got
but-
a bunch of wide receivers already, but I
He's
guess
inactive for Bills' dress rehearsal, inactive for Saturday's preseason game. Sammy
Actually-
Watkins returned to practice on a limited basis this week, but the
would
Bills
be
doesn't
my-
want to risk him.
He's a rookie, but
he's
he's
my fifth wide receiver, so I don't think I need him.
okay. Well, you're lost, but okay. Does anybody want to trade for Colin Kaepernick? Just so you know, I have him.
How about for Sammy Watkins? heard I
Sammy
could
Watkins.
pick him up.
Sammy Watkins is ranked 97 in this. Where are we at in the Yahoo ranks? Does anybody have the Yahoo ranks in front of them? Mine are all out of order. So
That
Yeah,
is
what
the
do you
Yahoo
do?
rank is 97.
I know, but like what's the highest ranked Yahoo player left?
Oh, I see.
84?
Brandon Cooks, 84.
84. Okay, so Watkins will go in the next 10 or 12.
He's seventh in the lineup of what we've got left.
Man, all these people are trying to join late.
Oh,
Yeah.
do we have a few more come in?
If you
Well, not
live
to the
person-
hangout, but to the live drafting. Yeah, Chris came in, Benning came in.
This wasn't
Why-
early. This was an early draft.
I always do it early because, well, for one, like I don't know, Sundays I basically I hunker down and watch a lot of television. So
Got it.
it's HBO night. So
Yep. I know that feeling, at least a little bit.
Remember when motels used to give you HBO?
yeah,
Do they not?
I don't think they do anymore.
I haven't been in a hotel anywhere that doesn't have HBO.
Really? I feel like it's an 80s thing. Like,
Nope.
I just want to say, guys, 2 of the Jacksons are left out there. I've got 1 Jackson on my team already. So if I can get Steven
Complete
and,
the set.
Steven and Fred, I might be able to do it.
I'm curious what kind of hotels you're staying at, Ben.
Let's
Seedy
see.
ones.
No, what? I've been to Hampton Inns and whatever, Days Inn, they're normal, real hotels.
Yeah, it is still a thing that they show on on some motels where they still pimp it as something that's useful.
Or they always have that little it's almost like a little catalog or little mini magazine type thing that's in the.
Man, I've not seen one of those mini magazines for years.
Wow.
I think I saw one at the last place. Where did I stay the last time? I think when I was in Boston. I was staying at a Hilton, and they had a.
It's like a
But
TV guide.
It's not exactly like a low rent hotel either, though. So I guess
No,
Is TV
And,
guide still in print? That's a good
No.
question.
no, they're not
They
prints.
did
No.
stop printing.
Yeah, they actually stopped a while ago.
I thought they had to.
But they the brand is still out there on the.
Yeah, I'm sure they have a
Interesting.
website or something, right?
Yeah, but yeah, I don't know. Every hotel, and I've been to the Pheasant Run in St. Charles, which is kind of a bigger, more resort type place. They all have it. It's. Some places
maybe
don't make
I'm
a
just-
big deal of it.
Yeah, maybe I'm just like
That
I
used to
think
be
that's
a big thing you'd see on the sign. It'd be free
Yeah.
HBO.
Yeah.
Now it's just kind of it's part of the package or whatever. It's just.
I feel like I usually at some point will flip.
This might
through
as well
all the
say
channels,
free
but maybe
boobs.
I'm just missing it. Maybe I'm.
Right. It's light titillation with less calories
Exactly.
and no extra room billing.
Ah, there goes one of the Jacksons.
Yep, sorry, Ed.
Sorry.
Fred's still out there though. He's my favorite. Fred Jackson, like according to fantasy people, should have been washed up like years ago, and he still keeps exceeding expectations.
Well, I got to pick right now, and he's in my
How many-
sights, Ed.
How many more running backs do you need?
Well, let's see.
Didn't you say you had a bunch already, or was it?
No, that's wide receivers. That's wide receivers. Ugh. Boy, honestly, I'm not doing this to spite yet, but I think he's my pick.
All right, that's fine with me. It's all right.
I'm
I
looking
always
it
have a
over. I'm looking it
contingency
over.
plan. I always have a contingency plan. You know, you can't go in there just really wanting one player because you probably won't get him.
I mean, it's either him or take my defense, and I think that train has left the station.
Take my defense, please. All right,
That
let's see.
train is gone.
Who's
Yeah,
the
it's
best rated
taking
defense
the Jacksons.
Bye-bye, Fred Jackson. How many Jacksons do we have left? None. Damn it.
I have 2 of them, so.
Well, you're beating my Jacksons. Who is Jeremy Hill? Cincinnati, running back. Okay. Now let's see. Seattle, San Francisco, St. Louis, Carolina, Cincinnati, Denver. Okay.
These are the ones that have been taken.
Yeah. There goes Watkins to Dean. Way to go, Dean.
Is Dean like languishing or something? You sound like he's just kind of like
Dean
it's a
has
conciliatory-
has consistently been pretty terrible. I mean, and he wouldn't say that was untrue. He's played for like 12 years in this league, and I don't think he's ever placed much higher than like 5th or something like that. So, and that's like it's like a really good year for him. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
You've
How
sat
about
down and
that?
looked at the numbers across all the years, right? I think you did a podcast on it at one point, right? Like part
Yeah.
of it.
Mark actually helped me do a little bit of analysis of our team over time,
That's
our league over time rather. So, man. Okay, who's left here?
I think my
That's good.
trajectory has been down, so
What are the good defenses left? So Seattle's gone, San Francisco, Carolina, St. Louis, Cincinnati, Denver. So like we're in tier 3 of defenses right now. So
yeah, that's pretty low.
Kansas City.
Pretty bad picks right here.
Someone took Chicago, right? Is that
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, that was me.
okay? But I mean,
Bold choice, bold choice.
Yeah. Who's the next best that's left? Probably
Ooh.
Baltimore. Baltimore's still out there. Houston's still out there.
Atlanta,
Cleveland will probably
let's
exceed
see.
expectations this year.
Detroit,
Detroit.
Dallas, Pittsburgh. I guess, well, who's to say how Pitt's going to do?
Green. Darius Green. There goes another freaking tight end. That's got to be like the 3rd string tight end on some team. That guy's not even going to see the field. I'm serious. Like, all right. So if I have my own ranks here, right? And for tight ends, let's see. Running backs, there's one tier 14 running back left. There's one tier 14 wide receiver, one tier 14 quarterback. We're at tier 17 for tight ends.
Wow.
Wow.
Just saying.
That's very
Tight end
weird.
yet?
I think everybody's got 2 except me.
I only
What,
have
tight
one.
end? No, I only have one.
Oh, interesting. So, I don't know. Let's see how many have been drafted. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. As I say this, another one's been drafted. 11, 12, 13 have been drafted. So someone just doubled.
That was Chicago.
It was Chicago. You didn't need him. What if you get all Chicago players? Then you're gonna have a week where none of your team's playing.
Yeah, I had that happen with Green Bay a few years ago, and that was a rough one. They also were doing pretty bad that year, even though they were all ranked highly to start.
Who's gonna draft Denard Robinson? Anybody?
Don't think so.
Don't do that. Good idea. Giants. Cecil Shorts. That's a great name.
Ooh, that's a good
Yeah.
one.
That's
Yeah.
good.
Cecil
Marvin.
Shorts.
Marvin Jones. Someone Wilson. Pierce is gone.
I'm reading through some of the mock draft ruiner stuff and just laughing to myself. Some good stuff. Fair warning, I'm only picking this guy because he follows me on Twitter. How is that a fair warning?
Oh, Cecil Shorts. You might have just become the last person on my bench.
The last man standing,
Provided
who is
Benny
also
doesn't
sitting.
take him. Dwayne Bowe would be my choice, but the thing is that Dwayne Bowe has an injury, and it's unclear how severe it is.
That's true.
That's why he's fallen so far. Although I guess he's not ranked that highly in Yahoo. But Danny Woodhead, also a great name. Oh, there goes B. Roethlisberger.
Nice.
All right.
Finally.
Cecil, welcome to my team. He's Cecil Shorts, not one, not two, but the third.
Oh, dang. Got a legacy.
Have there been any the fourths in modern football?
Very good
There's
question.
gotta be.
I don't know. And welcome
Golden
to you,
State, the fourth, maybe.
Dan Bailey.
Damn, Dan Bailey was on my
Of course he was. Too
my
bad.
short list of.
Guess what I'm drafting last, bitches? A defense.
Wow.
Oh.
That's right.
Yeah, I still got to grab one of those too.
It's all right, man. Just go with it. Just go with it.
I'm actually, Ed. I'm not feeling bad about it. I do think it's a decent strategy. And
Just gotta-
I'm
don't
saying
throw
that
caution
as
to the wind. That's
I'm
all.
saying that sounds good as a last place finisher last year.
Noted. There's a way to okay, so I don't have this I don't think open all the way. There's a way to like set up a list of potential players you want to draft, right, in addition to your own ranking.
There's a
Like
queue here.
Yeah, you just click the star next to it.
Okay.
That's why I'm not sharing my screen.
I got you. I wouldn't hawk any of your players anyway.
Oh, sure.
No, I don't that's not my way. St. Louis Rams, Carolina Panthers, Cincinnati Bengals, Denver, New England, Arizona, Kansas City. Okay.
Who's this guy? Hard Knocks?
My friend Benning. Did he take your player? Sorry.
No, he's just not taking anything. I think he walked away. But the clock. He's not auto drafting, but he spent the whole minute 30.
Hey,
Whoa.
it's getting to the point where you got to make the right decision.
That's fair.
Apparently the decision is nothing.
Yeah, which is why I think he went and got a sandwich or something.
Okay. Is Jim still with us?
Yes, I'm still here.
Okay, like your picture froze on my screen for a while and you hadn't said anything. I was like, what happened?
Just wait.
Yeah, this is the dead air part of the draft.
This is the time we should really be talking about Simpsons episodes.
It's
Oh,
because
yeah,
we're thinking
that's
so
fair.
hard.
Yeah.
I'm
This is
really
when
thinking
it
about
matters most. Yeah.
Are you? What is there to think about at this point? Like all the good stuff is gone. You just kind of grab for some scraps and just kind of call it good.
You gotta think about what you still got open.
Some
Like,
of
I
us still have defenses on the line.
Oh, I was still firmly in the Ed camp of don't worry about it and just pick something up
Well,
afterwards.
don't worry about it till the end, and now it's the end.
That's-
Okay.
You're getting
Very few people actually will draft. I mean, like, I don't know. Is anybody here going to draft two defenses in the draft?
no.
No.
Right.
Not
So,
even taking two tight ends.
so 12 out of
16
30
in my
defenses
fair.
will be taken.
Uh-huh.
Let's say, and so there's a lot of choices that are still going to be out there, guys. That's all I'm saying.
Exactly.
That's all I'm saying.
I'm still on Ed's side of this argument.
Thank you.
I am too.
Happy to entertain dissenting opinions via @smartpplike, stuffsmartpeoplelike.com,
Yeah, send us the hate mail.
and yeah, just lay it on about why Ed is totally wrong about not drafting defenses aggressively.
Better yet, record it and send it as a question of the week.
Write a handwritten letter and give it to the postman.
Place it in the boat.
Paul doesn't have a defense either.
I'm telling you that I'm on the same page as you, Ed. What?
So who are you going to draft, Paul? Let me guess. Cleveland.
Look, I got two. Oh, well, after Bannerd goes, the other two guys are going to auto draft, and I can start talking about it.
All right. I want to hear your thought process. I want to hear it.
So Dean's up, and then Jordan both auto drafting. I think I'm going with Houston.
Houston. Okay, that's a solid pick.
They're low ranked out here, but what's left, I mean, and there's a lot left. Let me tell you.
Mm-hmm.
There's a good 20 defenses left.
There goes Charles Clay, another tight end.
So here comes Houston.
Paul, you just went to ranked number 1 in the projected stats.
Well, now I have a defense, so that was probably what was holding me back.
Yeah.
Actually, now I have a full team. That was my last unfilled roster space.
I think this only bases it on your starting roster, though, if I'm not mistaken. I'd have to double check that, but
Oh, well, I got some got some good stuff on my bench. Let me tell you.
Yep. There goes Andy Dalton.
Yeah, my projected stats are way down. Look at that.
Andy Dalton,
Very bottom.
reliable player.
Good old Andy Dalton.
Oh, Andy Dalton.
This is a tough
Those
decision.
prison walls couldn't contain his soul.
Man. Paul, you did draft, right? Or no?
Wait, did
Or
you?
was it
Wait,
back to you again?
did
Oh, sorry,
Ed
talk to me again. You're right.
Did I what? Did I what now?
Sorry, I didn't mean to talk over Paul. What do you say, Paul?
No, Ed was asking if it was back to me. I was looking at what my next pick would be, and I didn't realize that it had gotten back to me that quickly. So I am
you
still
got 42
looking at
seconds
what,
left.
Yeah, I'm working it out.
Oh boy.
This is the last round, guys.
Yeah, this is the last choices, and mine is going to be
Blair Walsh, kicker.
need somebody to fill out those first 4 weeks.
It's happening.
Oh yeah. I guess you do need the replacement. So
Yep.
Paul, let me get that. You did draft. You drafted not 1 but 2 kickers, correct?
I did
All
that,
right. Okay.
Awesome.
and 4 wide receivers.
I have Steven Jackson, Kendall Wright, Marcus Colston, and Cecil Shorts. Cecil Shorts.
Speaking of Cecil Shorts, a brother from another series Simpsons episode is going to be coming up soon. That's also one of those last good ones. The last Side Zero Bob good one.
Nice. No Sean Moreno. Is he
Have
Sean?
to.
He's
He's more
no
known's favorite player based on his name every year.
No.
The more no Sean.
That's right.
I mean, I'm surprised he fell this far.
Well, it's because he changed teams.
Yeah, so people don't know how he's going to do in the new team.
Yeah. Because he was killer.
I want to see I want to see how angry Jordan's going to be on his auto-drafted team. He has Robert Griffin III. He has Adrian
RG3 had a really bad year last year. Was he hurt most of it?
Yeah, he's hurt most of every year. Oh, he drafted Steven Gostkowski. He was the first person to draft a kicker, I think.
Who was it?
Jordan. He auto-drafted, so... Well, it just means that he has a reason, like, if he doesn't perform well, he can just blame something else the whole season, which is what he'll do.
Just right up Jordan's alley.
Pretty standard.
Okay.
Denying responsibility. It's right up there.
Yeah.
All right. Anybody want Colin Kaepernick? Just saying. Chris Johnson had 1,000 rushing yards in 2013. Oh, he switched teams too. That's why he was ranked so low.
Wasn't Kaepernick all right?
Yeah, Kaepernick's good. I don't really need 2 quarterbacks probably, but I wanted to. It's a hedging maneuver. That's why I got him.
It seems like a decent idea. I mean,
Yeah, I mean I got. Okay, last pick, guys. Here we go. You ready? The Cleveland Browns. That's right.
all right.
So, wait, where's the standings? Damn it! Don't go away. Standings.
Terrible. Autoplay.
Fighting Mongooses is ranked number 1 in projected stats.
Where
Adds
are you seeing
2.
these rankings, actually? That's a good question.
Oh,
Click
hold on.
standings.
I'll share this.
Yeah, thank you.
Good call.
I'm
All
clicking
right,
on
so
it.
we're looking at projected stats
Mm-hmm.
based on the total projected points.
I don't know. We don't know.
Fighting Mongooses is at the very top with projected 1593, followed by Ed's Enforcers. Taking up the bottom is Outwitting the Foes and the ambitious Bare Knuckles, who will be victorious this season.
Who was Bare Knuckles?
That's me.
Just like to note that if you look at the defensive stats there, my team is ranked what?
Third.
Third. in defense.
Under Bannerd and Stampede.
And I drafted them last.
Take note that I am ranked last there on defense, but I feel like I have a sleeper defense.
Yeah, Houston's, they could be good. All right, that was fun.
Check out those kicker. Oh, yeah, there we go.
Oh, yeah, I guess
I'm
you
getting all my points in kicker.
Yeah, let's look at. I got to look at Jim's screen here. All right. So you're ranking by total here?
This is by total.
God,
Okay.
I mean, this is ridiculous. My kicker points
Rank by kicker.
are 140 above the next highest.
Well, there's a reason he's the number one ranked kicker.
Well, I'm aware, but
Well, it
Wow.
also, this could be total. I wonder if total fantasy points for all teams based on players they have drafted.
oh, so I have two kickers. That's what's doing it. Okay.
So maybe that's what
Ah.
it is. What about wide receiver? Man, I'm probably dead last in wide receiver. No, I'm in the
Bender?
middle of the pack.
Outwin the Foe.
I'm right there in the middle of the pack on wide receiver. I'm kind of happy about that.
Gallows pull.
All right. And by running back,
Oh, I'm doing all right at running back.
I'm in the middle of the pack on a lot of this. I'm actually kind of happy about that.
That's a good thing, I think.
back to total.
I'm
right.
in
room
the
to grow.
sorry.
All right,
Ridiculous.
let's go to teams for a second, and let's look at Jim's team.
Yeah. I like this. This break.
We've got. Oh, okay. The Chicago's kicker. You got their entire non-offensive side of Chicago.
That's how I roll.
Special teams and their kicker, and their
With
defense.
no backup.
Right.
You don't have any of their position players, though, it looks like, at all. Do I see any in there?
Nope.
No?
There are no other Chicagoans on this team.
And actually, he
Yeah.
has Aaron Rodgers, the antithesis to Chicago.
Let's contrast that with Outwitting the Foes. If you can switch to that.
Okay.
How many Dallas players do you spot? Okay, running back.
Two offensive Dallas players.
Just two. Way to go, Leah. You improved this year on that.
All right, let's take a look at Ed's team.
Yeah, let's look at Ed's team and see how it's all players I don't like.
He's got the
But
Cleveland
I
defense.
have a guy named Cecil and a guy named Monty, so I've already won.
That's true.
Cecil and Monty.
I have the kicker with the whitest name in all of sports, Dan Bailey. Kick one for us, Dan
Didn't he
Bailey.
star in It's a Wonderful Life?
I had
It's
him
like
in a different league
he's-
last year, and he helped a lot.
He is the human embodiment of a saltine cracker.
Wow.
All right, and
Some
then
good names though. Got Kendall, Marshawn, Monty, Marcus, Marquez. I don't know how you say it. I think it's Marcus Colston, but it looks like Marquez.
Paul's team with the
Matty Stafford, Matty Ice.
excellent choice there.
I've had him a few years, and I'm not happy I do. But
And
are
I'm
you
sure
gonna
you
do?
just want to get rid of Jordy
Oh,
Nelson
Charles,
at any
I'm happy
point.
about it.
You just let me know.
I may. I mean, I'm sitting on 4 wide receivers.
Yeah, that's a terrible choice. Just get rid of him. Just drop him.
No, I'm just saying reasonable trades will be heard.
Oh, that's fair. Okay. I
What do you
can't.
need? What do you need? You need a running back? We'll
Why don't
talk
you take a
after a
look
couple.
here and
Let's
let me
talk
know
a
what
couple
you like.
weeks in.
Maybe a tight end, you know.
Oh, I've only got one. So
So do I. We're
Flush
defense,
with them.
you know.
You could take the beauty that is no
All right.
Sean Moreno. He's
Go
a
to
great
this-
choice. He's ready.
who is the worst standings? You remember who they said was the worst?
Yeah, good
Olivia.
question.
I want to look at their team.
Outwitting the Foes.
Outwitting the Foes. We already
That
did.
was the worst. Okay. All right.
Fighting
Who,
Mongooses. Let's look at the top team.
That was me. That was what we were just.
Oh, that's right.
Um,
Yeah.
Got it.
What? Who were the top 3 last year? The top 3.
Oh, I could find that out for you.
I think. Yeah, I'm on that.
You want top 3 in rankings or top 3?
Bannerd,
in...
Durwood's Destroyers, and Ebron's Hands of Ice.
The final, the final winners.
Yeah.
Those are the
So
final 3.
where are they ranking this year? 5th, 3rd. What was the other one? Durwood. 8th.
Bannerd, Durwood, and Ebrons.
Durwood is always really good. Like he's won the league twice, I think, and he's probably coming second or third.
Oh,
like
man.
most of there. So
I remember getting rolled by his team last year.
yeah.
He had his best week the week I played him. That was so disheartening.
Yeah.
I think out of the entire season, he had like one of his best weeks that week at least.
And on top of that, they give you the like award for like biggest blowout or whatever.
Yeah.
Which is
Oh yeah.
the worst thing they can do.
Yeah.
But
So this is another awesome thing about Yahoo. It just let me draft my entire team, but I went in to go look at my team just on the regular team page, and it made me sign into Yahoo. It's like that's the part that's secure.
well, I think that you and I play each other the first week, right?
We do.
So very early on, we'll decide who is the best team out of the two.
Yeah.
We're playing for top spot already. In the beginning.
I think we should just quit after the first week. Whichever one of us wins, that's just,
Yep.
I like those odds, 50-50.
Yep. Projected stats, week 1. How do you... Oh, they always change this on me.
Well, and mine just changed probably because I replaced my out kicker. Oh, and they went down. Huh. That's interesting.
Your out kicker?
I put in a kicker that's actually going to play, and my points went down, so thanks, Yahoo.
Yeah.
Probably wrap up the live cast at this point.
Yeah, it seems like things have kind of come to a full and complete stop. So we're going to put our tray tables up and calmly exit the Fantasy Draft 2014 shuttle.
And the question for the viewers before we go, which team do you think will win?
Please pick me because I'm not even playing.
Yes.
And as we all learned from War Games, the only way to win is not to play.
That's right.
All right.
If you were going to play Ben, what would your team name be?
Oh, well, last year I went as Spiro Agnew. So I think, let's see. I'm trying to pick. I like to pick Nixon cabinet people because that's really obscure and weird.
Herbert Humphrey or something? Or...
Yeah, maybe. Herbert Humphrey or Henry Kissinger, maybe. Anyway.
Well, this is fun, guys.
Yeah, it was good.
I'll be impressed if anyone had decided to listen to this whole thing. But we leave it out there for them to do so.
Make their
That's
own
right.
table choices.
This is our gift to the world.
Yep. All
So
right,
for Stuff Smart, I'm going to do the normal wrap up here, all right? So for Stuff Smart people like...
I'm Ed.
I'm Paul.
I'm Jim.
And I'm Ben. We think it's smart, so should you.